Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Katie and today we're doing long hold yoga poses for stress relief. This will be a nice slow calming practice just to give you some time and space on your yoga mat to be still, be quiet and stretch away any tension or stress that you might be holding on to today. This is a beginner-friendly practice. If you are a beginner, you might grab a small blanket or a towel to use on the mat for sensitive knees. And if you do have some yoga blocks, you can grab them or just grab a pillow or a cushion. So go ahead and get ready, and then I'll meet you back here on the mat in Child's Pose. We'll begin in Child's Pose. We're going to be here for 2 minutes in total, so make sure you are as comfortable as possible. As I mentioned, if you are a beginner, you might take a small blanket or a towel and place it on your mat like so, and this is going to help to protect your knees. So the point of this video is to release stress, not cause stress by causing any pain for the body. So you can take your knees nice and wide apart, keeping your big toes together, and then sit back onto your heels. If this isn't available for you, you can take a cushion or a yoga block and sit up on it like so. Now you can reach your hands towards the front of your mat and melt your forehead down to the ground. If your forehead doesn't make it to the ground, you can rest it onto your hands. Or you can take a second yoga block or cushion to rest your forehead onto. Take as much time as you need to get settled into this pose. Wiggle around, make any adjustments. And once you've found a position which is sustainable for you, allow yourself to completely drop into the mat. Relaxing your shoulders, loosening your jaw. And a nice way to release stress from the body is to just roll your forehead on your mat. So you're just gently rocking your head from side to side, massaging your forehead, and just signaling to the body that it can relax. You might notice that you're starting to think, and that's completely normal. As soon as you notice yourself engaged in some thoughts, try your best to bring your awareness back to the sensations you feel within your body, and try your best to follow your breath in and out. Before we move on from this pose, just check in on your jaw, your shoulders, then your entire body, making sure everything is still soft. And if your awareness drifted away from your breath, just follow your last few breaths in and out of your body. Press your fingers down into the mat now and use a breath in to pull yourself up, coming onto all fours into tabletop pose. You can keep your knees on your blanket or your towel if you're using it. We'll remove our yoga block for now. From here, we'll come into thread the needle pose. So this is a nice way to release any stress or tension from your shoulders. You can begin by lifting your right hand up into the air. Follow that right thumb up with your eyes. Take a big breath in and stretch your fingers up. As you exhale, thread that right arm in underneath your left, bringing your right ear down onto your mat. Your left hand can stay here, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can reach that left hand towards the top of your mat. We'll be here for 2 minutes, so take as much time as you need to adjust. We'll be here for 2 minutes, so take as much time as you need to adjust and settle into this pose. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into this pose, you can use your left fingers to put more of your weight into your right shoulder. And then the opposite is true too. If you want to take less of a stretch here, just use your left hand to take more of the weight of your body. As you start to relax into the pose, bring your awareness to your breath, sending it deep into your belly, allowing it to fill up your heart space, releasing any tension from your shoulders. With each exhale, you're carrying that tension out of your body. For your last few breaths here, see how much you can surrender your weight into your mat, letting everything get heavy. When you're ready, you can start to come out of the pose, slowly reversing back into tabletop. And from here, we'll take it to the other side. So you can inhale to lift that left arm up, look up at your left thumb and stretch your arm up to open up through the side of your body. Exhale to thread it under, stepping your right hand out in front if that feels good. Your right hand determining the intensity of the stretch. We'll hold on this side for 2 minutes. Again here, as we hold this pose, check in on your thoughts. And if you have left your yoga mat, just try to come back. Bring your awareness back to your breath or back to the sensations you feel within your body. Take your last big breath in and out. And in your own time, you can start to come back. Making our way back into tabletop pose, and from here we'll come to downward dog. So you're stepping your hands a little bit closer to the front of your mat. Curl your toes, lift your knees, and drag your hips up and back. We'll just stay here for a few seconds. You might paddle your feet, stretching through the backs of your legs. Keep pushing yourself away from your hands so you can stretch and open up your back muscles. When you're ready, you can step your right foot forward in between your hands. Drop your back knee onto the mat. Again, here we can have our towel underneath to give the back knee a little bit more support. And if you're using yoga blocks here, you can rest your hands on your blocks, and that's going to make this pose a little bit easier. Here we are in a simple low lunge. Make sure you keep your front knee directly above your front ankle. And we're going to stay here for 2 minutes. Many of us tend to store stress in our hips, so opening up the hips like this can be a nice way to release that stress. And with that in mind, take note of your hips and just notice how they're feeling. As you start to cultivate a deeper breath, you can send your breath down wherever it's needed the most. Feed that tightness and use each exhale to carry it out of your body. As your hips start to open up, you might be able to drop them a little bit lower on each exhale, but only if that's what your body is asking for right now. And if your hips aren't ready to open up, just try to release something with each exhale. Maybe you can release tension from your jaw, from your shoulders, or maybe you can just let a certain thought go each time you breathe out. We'll start to transition into Pigeon Pose. So we're walking this right foot over towards the left side of the mat. Now you might have to bring your foot back quite a bit, that's okay. Our goal here is to bring this right knee onto the mat in front of us. Keep your front foot flexed, that will protect this front knee, and press the top of your back foot down into your mat. Here in Pigeon Pose, there is a temptation just to sit over on your right hip, but we want to avoid that. So keep your hips square, keep them lifted, and you can do that by pulling your feet towards each other. So imagine you have magnets in your feet, they're trying to get together, and that lifts your hips up. And you can help yourself out here by putting a yoga block or a cushion in underneath this right hip to prevent it from collapsing over. We'll stay in Pigeon Pose for 2 minutes. So as always, feel free to wiggle around, see what's going to work for you. Once you've found something, Just commit to staying in this stillness, staying in this quietness. You can stay here, or you can go a little bit deeper if your body wants to by coming down onto your forearms. By now you know what to do. Try to focus on the new sensations you feel within your body, and try to keep your awareness with your breath. We'll take one more full breath in. Long breath out, releasing any of that stress that might have been turned up through these poses. And when you're ready, you can make your way back into downward facing dog. Taking your time getting there, eventually stepping that right leg back. You can paddle your feet, sway your hips from side to side. Do whatever you need to do to release the poses we've done. And when you're ready, we'll step our left foot forward in between the hands, dropping the back knee down and setting yourself up for a low lunge. Front knee stays over the front ankle. Holding here for 2 minutes. Again here, just trying to commit to 2 minutes of stillness, resisting the urges to fidget. And 2 minutes of silence, just trying to quieten your mind by focusing instead on your breath and on the sensations in your body. For your last few breaths, see if there's something you can let go of, something you can drop. And when you're ready, you can transition to Pigeon Pose, walking your left foot over to the right. Flexing that front foot and pressing the top of the back foot into your mat. Again here, pull your feet towards each other to keep your hips lifted, and you can place a cushion or yoga block underneath your left hip. An option to stay here or to come down onto your forearms. Settling into this side of the pose for the next 2 minutes. Starting to identify all the sensations you feel. Figure out where your breath is needed the most and send your breath down into that area. Taking our last few breaths here. And now you can start to make your way slowly back into downward dog. Paddle it out, sway your hips, do whatever you need to do. Release any last bits of stress from your hips. Now we're going to walk the feet slowly towards the hands. Taking your time to get there. Eventually you'll find yourself in a standing forward fold. Your feet are hip width distance apart and parallel to each other, and keep a bend in your knees here. You can allow your hands to hang low towards your mat, or you can hold opposite elbows. Try your best to release your head. It's a hard concept for the body to let the head go. So just focus on your neck muscles. Notice the tension and then try to release it. We'll hold here for 2 minutes. Doing inversions like this, where your head is lower than your hips, is a really great way to release stress. Sending the blood down towards the brain has a really calming effect on the body and on the mind. Each inhale here might lift you a little bit higher out of the pose, and each exhale will help you to sink a little bit lower. Now you can release your hands towards the mat if they're not already there, and very slowly start to guide yourself back down onto the mat. You can make your way down to lie on your back. And once you're there, come into Savasana Pose by having your arms and your legs take up as much space as they need. And when you're there, just take a few seconds lying here on your mat, observing how your body feels. Are there any new sensations? Does your mind feel any different to when you started the practice? And when you're ready, you can bring both of your knees up into your chest, wrapping your arms around your legs. Keep your feet beside each other here, don't cross your ankles, and just give yourself a really big hug. Squeezing out any tension from your hips. Thanking yourself for showing up and for doing this practice. You might notice that it's harder to get a deep belly breath here like this, but keep trying, keep expanding your belly with your breath. Then on each exhale, you might be able to squeeze yourself a little bit tighter. As you hold this air releasing pose, bring that awareness back to your jaw, making it loose, relaxing your facial muscles, relaxing your shoulders. Just a few more seconds here like this. You can release your legs now, sending them back down to the bottom of your mat. Allow them to take up as much space as they need. Bring your arms out to the sides, also taking up all the space that they need. Resting here in Savasana Pose for a few minutes. And this is where all the magic of yoga happens, where your body can really get into a deep relaxation. So let the awareness of your breath go. Just let your body breathe as it does. For one more time, loosen your jaw, relax your face, soften your shoulders. Just start to feel gravity pressing you gently down into your mat. And it's almost like a blanket covering your whole body, protecting you. And we'll just take the next few minutes to drift into a deep relaxation. And I'll let you know when it's time to come back. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you need to. But if you are ready to come out, you can make small movements. In your own time, you can come to lie on the right side of your body. Taking a moment here just to find some deep breaths again. And again, thanking yourself for turning on this video and for doing this practice. And just thank your body for everything that it was able to do for you. And from here, you can gently push yourself back up into a seat, coming into whatever way is most comfortable for you to sit. We'll end our practice just by taking a few more deep breaths together. So you can close your eyes, lengthen your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Take a big breath in through your nose if you can. And then open your mouth to exhale. No more stress left in your body. You can repeat that a few more times if you need to. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed these long hold yoga poses for stress relief. If you did, please let me know by leaving a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, that really helps me out. And I have lots more videos just like this that are focused on releasing stress and promoting relaxation. I'll leave links to those in the description below, or you'll see a playlist which you can go through to find your next practice. I'll see you then. Until then, take care and goodbye.